Hello, it's Maria here. Thank you for joining me today on my Artist Maria Burke channel. I just showed you a picture there of what this video is going to turn out like, what this painting is going to turn out like. So as you can see, it's a picture of a laneway and lots of trees bordering it on either side. And I'm just starting into the work now, as you can see, and just really putting in some lines, really just marking it out, drawing it. I'm never too precise in the beginning. I'm just eyeballing it. I'm not measuring it. And just basically putting in the trees on either side of the little pathway. One time this was a much wider lane that was used for driving animals from one part of a farm to the other, but now it is a little bit overgrown, and you can just see in the very middle that there's more of a narrow pathway. So I'm using acrylic paint to paint this, and the color I've just on my brush is a raw umber, sort of a dark brown color. It doesn't really matter what color really you're using to mark in or to begin the painting. Just something dark, even a very dark green, or whatever you have at hand. I find this color very good. It's very neutral, and because I'm kind of putting in the barks of the trees, it's quite a woody color. So coming in next with my yellow, and this is a type of it's a lemon yellow, and I've mixed it with a sap green there just to get that kind of pale greeny yellow color. And just quickly putting that in. As you can see, I've speeded it up, and the canvas is about, I think, about 20 inches by 16. It's a nice size canvas, not too small, not too big, quite easy to manage. And just working away, adding in my colors, adding in the colors of the trees. And as you can see, they're kind of forming an archway over the little passageway in the middle. And it was late summer when I painted this, so there's still a lot of green around. And I did use a wider brush for that section there. And now I'm using a permanent purple. And I'm finding that color very, very good for putting in the trunks of the trees. Not wanting to commit myself to the brown of a tree trunk at this point, and trying to keep some color in the painting so that it won't be just all brown tree trunks and green trees and green grass. But yeah, that tree trunk on the right hand side is a dark tree trunk, so I put the purple in to kind of give me the depth, that I'll want, the depth of color when I come back into it. And I'm mixing a little bit of pink in with this raw umber as well. There is a little tad of pink thrown in there as well. Again, just trying to keep my colors lively and just not working directly with the color that comes out of the tube, but thinking outside the box, adding in other colors just to bring up those contrasts. So here's a different green. So this one it's a deeper green. I'm using it to give me more depth of color into those branches. Now, as I was working on this, as I came to the end of the painting, I realized that pathway was very straight. As you can see, it's almost like a pathway that you'd find in the city. It's quite straight on the left-hand side. So I did come back at the end of the painting. I think I did it off camera. I added some shadows, just really very, very quickly. I added some shadows on the right and on the left tree, shadows coming down, the shadows of the tree trunks. and it just made that pathway a little bit more crooked and a little bit more interesting. So I took a bit of artistic license there. And here I'm adding in some blue for the sky. So in the beginning, yeah, I put in a lot of the greenery, and now I'm making, a lot of artists call them the sky holes. So I'm going back in to make that sky appear, lightening it up. And of course that sky is reflected on the pathway down below as well. So the pathway will have some of that blue in it. So it's almost like I'm pushing back the leaves and the foliage to bring in the sky, but then I'll come back again and I'll bring the foliage. I'll make the foliage more prominent as I go on in the painting. So this was quite an easy painting to do. Yeah, bringing in some pink, and just when I was looking at the pathway, I just felt, yeah, there was just a touch of pink coming through in the earth. And I'm bringing that pink right around the painting now as well. It's just working well. The pink is working well to give me, again, more colour, more interest to the painting. It's all about contrasts. You know, if you're using a lot of green, you need to look at what's a good contrast with the green. I need to bring in some warmer colours as well to make those shadows pop and to make the green pop. So here back in now with a narrow brush, and just to give the sense of those tree trunks, adding in more shape. And of course I'm bringing in my shadows here, working on the deep dark shadows. I've been using mostly natural lighting in my studio, but I think as the winter now is drawing in, I need to step that up when I'm making the videos. Often I find the videos are getting very dark and I'm losing colour. You can see here this, obviously a cloud passing overhead on the skylight above me, and it's sometimes just the picture gets quite dark and you can't see the colours that I'm actually using as well as I can. So I'll be just adding to my lighting, buying a few spotlights and a few things like that, just to, so that you can see it more clearly in the video. So working away, yeah, with the detail, bringing in a little bit those small marks with the smaller brush to kind of, I'm not going to draw in every leaf or every twig, but what I'm doing is adding them in here and there, moving around the picture to try and keep it lively. I don't want to deaden it with just putting in hard marks. So it's still just really playing around and adding in swirls and shapes and leaves. Here and there, not every single leaf. So yeah, coming in with my light colours now again. I was using the darks and I'm bringing in just some pale colours, really. A lot of white added into those yellows and greens, just to lighten it up. And there, just that path, it's not as straight as it was when it started out. It is beginning to bend a little bit and bringing more interest into it. So I hope you enjoy my video and that you learn something from this, or that it's useful. Please comment and let me know what you think, or if there's anything else that I need to explain more clearly, or if you'd like me to do videos that are more slowed down. I'm thinking maybe that's of doing a video in a few parts so you can see it in real time and just see more clearly how I'm painting these. And if you enjoy it, please subscribe and like and share. I'd love that. And Yeah, keeping going now with I'm adding in the paler greys and blues just to give you an idea of the light coming right through those leaves and right down, reflecting right down into the little passage below. And there is just a slight touch. It's the beginning of autumn, so there is a slight touch of like those kind of warmer colours that are coming in the autumn. But of course, the greens are the predominant colours. And that's the way it is in Ireland. We always just have 40 shades of green. Or more, I would think. But a lot of other colours as well in our landscapes. But this was a beautiful place to paint. It's just very silent, very quiet little place. And just very peaceful spot in the west of Cork, of County Cork. Beautiful place to visit. A beautiful place to go walking as well. So there's a slight sheen on the right-hand side of that picture as the wet paint is beginning to pick up the light. But you'll see it now in a minute. I will show you a photograph of the final piece. So yeah, just bringing in the darks again with that dark, maybe the raw umber mixed in with the sap green. So these are just, yeah, the final little brush marks, giving detail, but trying to keep it lively and not getting too bogged down in putting in every single detail, but just keeping it fresh, and they're adding highlights into that pathway. And again, I'm back to a narrow brush for my details. So it was great to have you with me today. Thank you for joining me. Do watch the video to the end and you'll see how it turned out at the very end. And until next time, God bless, have a great week, and I'll talk to you on Tuesday. I'll be back again. Normally put up the videos on Tuesdays. And I'm on Facebook and Instagram under Artist Maria Burke as well if you want to find me there. So until next time, God bless and bye-bye.